Okay, there's definitely enough of that. I tried to be really quick to brew some more, make another mug of coffee and make a sandwich. Did not turn out so well.
No, it's alright, it's alright.
Welcome everybody to Left for Random Talk. This is a podcast that me and my friend, or co-host here, Rev, have been working on for years. We talk about games, we talk about movies, really anything that we have an opinion on.
And that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And today, we, like always, we have a few things that we usually pick out. This week has been rather busy with a few things, to the point where I actually had to remove some things, just to get it all fit. So, we will, like always,
look at the size of the list.
Yes, it's quite large.
Yes.
So,
Too bad it's not penis. Demonetized.
Look at that, and demonetization. Fuck off. It's almost as if we don't make any money off of this. Fuck off, YouTube. Anyway, so I'll just run through the list, and today we have the following. Override, Mech City Assault, looking into the game and what we like about it. Brawl, fine. What we like about it. It is a sad day. The two best friends has come to an end, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Kingdom Hearts 3 copy stolen from a warehouse. A true leaked game is out there in the wilds. Go figure. Small side note, talking about Warframe update. Baruch and Orb Heist. The Orb Mother talks. Fallout 76, as if we can never get away from this one. Files have been dug into. Source code reveals that Bethesda is going to include loot boxes. The new method of sneaking loot boxes into games have been discovered. They also pull a Destiny 2 and Throttle X-Beam games, so people would be more inclined to buy said loot boxes. The rise of no-face badasses. Are classical power-armored badasses making a return in modern games, comics, and I forgot to say shows. Fuck. Why are Godzilla fans mad with Mothra's new design? Is this a case of classic design versus new? Return of the PlayStation Classic along with PS1 games. Is this PlayStation's attempt to kill emulators for profit, or is it a love letter to fans?
And
finally, love lever, yes. And finally, Escape from Tarkov devs abuse YouTube copyright system to silence criticism of their game. They destroyed Erotic, the guy on YouTube. The YouTuber's channel, and now people are beyond pissed. Yeah.
Wow.
A lot going on this week, so let's get right into it.
Yeah. I think this time I'm going to move the list to the other side because now people can't see the chat.
Yeah, Jesus. Alright, NLT's like, oh, come on, Bethesda. I highly doubt it's a love letter, and only...
How many times have we talked about Bethesda so far?
Too often. They just keep fucking up. It's like the gift that never stops giving.
Gonorrhea!
No, apparently, I just recently found this out. Apparently, they're quote unquote not making enough money and might be getting a buyout from Microsoft.
Whoa.
Well, maybe this wouldn't have happened if you didn't dick your fans over. Just
multiple times.
Obsidian promoting their game with it. Yeah, true. We actually talked about that, I think, last week.
Yeah, we did. That was like the biggest nut punch they could do. It's like, hey, we made the good stuff. Fuck Bethesda. Exactly. And everybody supports them. Everybody. I have high hopes for that game, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
As far as I know, Obsidian hasn't tried to dick their fans over. In fact, every time they make something, they try to be as, non-combative and friendly as human. That's saying. So yeah, so the first topic is Override Mech City Brawl, was it?
Yeah.
All right.
I've watched cartoons and Gorillafant's play of this, and it's essentially like like the old Godzilla games on like the Xbox and the PlayStation 2, like Save the Earth, get out of here, and Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Yes.
Where it's two very large creatures pitted against each other in a walled or fenced off zone of a city or environment, and you just beat the shit out of each other. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Ironically, the two best friends covered part of this before the inevitable collapse. And from what I saw, I kept seeing it, and my only thought was, this is War of the Monsters 2, isn't it? I just wasn't
Oh yeah,
sure.
there was that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's from what I can tell, I didn't pay too much attention to the because, I had other shit to do, like always. But from what I saw, it's like there are very clear homages to different mechs and animes in the game.
Yeah. They're
And
really well
it's pretty
designed too.
obvious. Yeah, it's a weird sort of pseudo-realistic meets anime aesthetic, which I don't know how to feel about that.
I like that whenever somebody plays as the dinosaur-looking one, their immediate thought is, "Oh, Power Rangers," because it does look like that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. These mechs are very obviously inspired by things of our childhood.
Yeah.
In fact, I think one of them has like glowing red hands.
I did not get that far.
And when I saw it, my immediate he's like on the cover, and he gives a thumbs up. It's the Reinhardt looking one.
I have linked the Steam page in the description on YouTube and in the chat on Twitch. If I need to paste it in the chat, just on YouTube, let me know.
Fair enough.
Oh my god, one of them looks like Optimus Prime.
It is I, Optimus Prime, and I'm here to say, let's go. No.
I like that there's one that's a fish or frog and it has stars on its nipples. That's like the funniest thing ever.
It's kind of funny, actually.
But in all seriousness, this is a beat 'em up game. It's just player versus player. You fight each other. You get power ups. You get weapons. You do special abilities, all while maintaining your heat.
Yes.
If you do too much in your abilities, you overheat, and that can cause problems. Each machine has their own special ability and their own unique design, and I love it. It looks so good. The only downfall is when you're on the ground, you can't attack the person that's on the ground. So if, say, me and Rev are playing and he played as just for shits and giggles, the unicorn, because they've recently added that one.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. And I played the dinosaur, because obviously I would play the dinosaur. If I knocked Rev down, I could not damage him while he was on the ground. Even if I use my special ability, even if he uses a special ability on me while I'm on the ground, it's not going to do anything. So you're essentially wasting your special.
It's kind of like there are a few old Gundam fighters, or not fighters, but like robot simulator, whatever you want to call it. And in those games, they did the same thing. You couldn't destroy a mobile suit when it fell to the floor. You had to wait for it to get back up. Now, newer ones stopped doing it because we were like, okay, this is annoying. But what I wanted to say with the glowing hands one is, when I saw it, my immediate thought was, is this a fucking reference to the Shining Finger from Gundam G? The G Fighter? Is this exactly what it is? I swear to God. I swear to God it is. Because both hands are glowing a bright orange, just like in the show, and my immediate are fucking trying now. They are trying to say, hey, look what we can do without getting in trouble.
I like glowing finger. My first thought is like those weird ads on porn websites.
Oh fuck!
Find out this guy's secret technique for getting all the ladies. Men hate him. Glowing finger.
I swear that's gonna be like some
The furry
advertisement in the
fandom is going to
browser.
latch onto that.
Mm.
I'm just saying, it's going to latch onto that so bad.
No, I don't doubt it. But still, overall, I think it's a neat little fighter. Again, I get War of the Monsters, G Fighter, all these
Yeah.
things. I get that
I get a little
those
bit more War of the
flashbacks.
Monsters than Godzilla, really, but then again, I've played more Godzilla than War of the Monsters. By the
Well,
way, for people who haven't clicked on the link or don't really want to, it is now $30 on Steam.
so go buy it and play it.
Mm-hmm. Even like the little
And
package that's included is $30. It doesn't change.
what even? I don't know, LT. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I think, like I said, this has promise. This
Mm-hmm.
is probably going to be at esports next year because it's a fuck off.
No, please no.
I'm so tired
But
of
what I
that
can
anime
say is
now.
that the developers are doing something right. You have your classic
Mhm.
looking machines, like the ones that look like a Gundam or something like that, Optimus Prime. And then you have things that are very unique, like the deer with the Day of the Dead skull, or the unicorn, or even the fairy. They all look different and they all move different. And it's amazing.
Yeah, I hate to keep using G G Fighter Gundam, whatever it was called. I hate to do that, but that anime kind of did the same thing. Only you obviously had to add a Gundam like head or something on it, but all the mechs were unique. That is exactly what I get that feeling from, because
Hmm.
all these mechs are unique too. So it's like, well, motherfuckers,
Yeah.
this feels right somehow,
Heaven
somewhere.
forbid one of them decides to have a mortar on their back and need to kneel down and get a support stick and get a support quote unquote stick to keep itself from
Oh
tipping
yeah,
over.
you're talking about that.
I
I
know
know.
you know what I'm talking about here. Nobody else knows. This is an inside joke. Ha! Looks like
Yes.
Mecha
Yeah,
Godzilla.
exactly. It does. Kinda.
Red one. That's the dinosaur looking one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually comes in multiple colors. That's another thing. These things have customized colors and patterns. So you could have a green one and look exactly like the Dragon Zord from the early Power Rangers show.
The good Power Rangers. Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Insert the mass hordes of fans that want to kill me now.
Like cartoons and Gorilla Fent. By the way, those two are H2O Delirious' friends, in case anybody was curious.
Yes.
Definitely go check them out. They're great guys.
Oh yeah. Cartoons is very loud and funny.
And he likes to scream when he starts shooting like he's in an actual fight. And Gorilla Fent's just super chill until he's getting his ass kicked.
Just sitting there, it's like, are you okay, dude? Ah!
Uh,
Uh,
but
no,
yeah, like
this looks
I,
like
I
a
would
fun
say
game.
like if you have the money to burn, buy it. Otherwise, wait until it goes on sale. It's still a really good looking game, but with any other game, I would not recommend somebody just throwing away their money at something that they're not even sure they're going to like.
Exactly. This is this is a rare instance where it's like, yeah, you know what? This seems to be the case.
Yeah, they
So
are
go
funny.
nuts.
That's another thing.
Go.
If you're not sure you want to buy it, watch a Let's Player. That's why we're here. Well, that's why they're here. I don't do Let's Plays.
And technically, you do live streams.
Well, I technically do Let's Plays because I'm doing like Terraria to the end. I tried doing Starbound to the end, then everything got erased, so I had to start all fucking over again. No, thank you. I'll wait for a while to do that again.
Fair enough.
Warframe has no ending.
There is no end game. That's the joke.
I know.
Fashion Frame is the ending.
Owning all of the skins and all the colors and Santanas and shit, that's the end game. Good fucking
Fashion
luck.
Frame.
And demonetized. Anyway, we're gonna move on from something happy and actually really interesting to Sad.
Depressing.
This is Rev's cue.
It's like, oh, look at that. Life is too happy. Let me.
Life is so happy. Burn.
No, it's like, oh, look, there's what is it? It's like, oh, there's this planet full of life. Let me just bring the asteroid in. All right, and that is basically everyone. The two best friends are no longer together.
Oh
They're done.
no.
And I was actually taken aback by this, but at the same time, I'm like, I kind of knew this was going to happen.
Like,
Not
what
because I
was the
wanted.
cause? Like, were they not getting along, or?
Basically, the business side of their YouTube channel was affecting the friendships. And, basically, if they. And I don't know how to put it exactly without having someone sound like the villain in this, because I don't want that to happen. But basically, just everybody wanted to do their own thing and trying to be too much to just kind of meet up and do these things anymore. So they're just kind of like, you know what? Maybe we should just stop.
Yeah. I mean, they've been going for a while, haven't they?
9 years.
Yep. I can understand that
they've been going for what, 9
perfectly.
years.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing I want to say. It's just, even though they're no longer together, in quotations here, they're still doing their own things.
Yeah.
Pat does live streams on his channel. Matt does incredibly well scripted and well choreographed, not even choreographed, sorry, well scripted and well designed videos. Talking about like what we do, except professional. Oh, I just burned
Definitely professional. I'm not even gonna back us up on that one. Definitely more professional.
Yeah.
I mean, it took us 11 minutes to finally start talking because I went to make a fucking sandwich that has just been sitting here because I don't want to eat it into my microphone. Fuck it. I'm gonna mute myself and eat it.
All right, but basically, what what Matt does now is he basically just kind of does what I wanted to try, which is go back to old games, look at the history, where it went wrong, etc., 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 and just kind of do that. And Wooly is, well, he's Wooly. He's probably doing something. Look, I don't know. I didn't even know he had a YouTube channel, and I feel terrible about that. So yeah.
I forget. Is Wooly the one who was like the big Godzilla fan?
I think so.
I'm sad to say this. Like, a lot of the furry fandom have latched onto the fact that he is a Godzilla fan and draw a lot of really good fan art for him. Or somebody there was.
Now I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. He also Wooly is doing Kirby lore.
Aww.
Not cutesy.
Oh.
He basically deep dives into like the really. He actually takes the information of the Kirby mythos, but really analyzes and discovers that there is a darker meaning behind everything, and it's horrifying. Like you know the giant white boss with the red eye?
Nope.
Has an angelic appearance?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah, it's like he dove into that, and he reveals that this thing is like the ultimate evil, and it's like, oh shit! Like again, I can't do it justice. The guy did it better than I could ever do it.
Okay,
saying something.
But like, does it go as crazy as game theory?
Let me put it to you this way: he actually does his research, and isn't a prick about things. So yeah. In other words, he's better than game theory.
Yes.
It's like subtlety, and now the bluntness.
Kirby is the last one alive in Smash. Let's see how this is related to Five Nights at fucking Freddy's. What?
Like, fuck off. Exactly. It's like, what are you trying to do here? You're reaching now. You really are. But no, basically speaking, that's what they've all just kind of faded and kind of turned to each other. And I knew this would happen, and I was scared that was going to happen. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? This makes sense. It's the end of an era, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a weird feeling to be sitting here in a world where the two best friends are no longer doing what they do. Yeah, 2 words, clickbait. Exactly. Exactly.
But like, it begs the question: are they still friends? Like, they're not doing the
I
shows anymore, but are they still friends with each other? Because that's like the
well, the
biggest
video.
concern.
The video they did addressing the separation, the whole, well, we're no longer going to be doing the show anymore. It wasn't, well, basically, all three of them recorded themselves separately in their own homes to address what was happening. Like, oh, Wooly did this, or Pat did this, or yada, yada, yada. There was nothing of that nature. It's just it was very obvious they were all sad to do this. Like their facial expressions, their tone, it was very obvious they don't want to do this, but they don't really have a choice in the matter because they know that if they keep doing it,
What they're
it'll
doing is going to suffer.
exactly, and they'll destroy the friendship. And I have a feeling part of the fan base is to blame. Not saying, I'm not trying to like
Point
attack the
blame
fans.
at
That's not what I'm
literally
saying.
yourself here.
No, 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 no. What I'm saying is, what I notice is that when there's a commentary group or anything of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if everyone's equal or friends or whatever have you, the fan base will kind of speculate and they'll start gravitating towards the personality or the person they like the most. And then they'll start making things, fan art or saying things which put one person above the others. And then after a while, that does grate on someone,
Mm-hmm.
because you're chipping away, not intentionally, maybe you don't even intentionally, but you're more technically chipping away at someone's self-esteem little by little, even if you have no malice towards it.
Not
And
only
that's what I
that,
think. What? Go ahead.
you have a bit of the YouTube girlfriend syndrome. Syndrome, I guess that's the right word to use it. A lot of YouTubers have come to refuse telling their fandoms that they actually are dating or anything like that. Because a lot of
Hmm.
the times when a YouTuber has a girlfriend or a fiance or even a wife, the fans will start accusing said spouse or partner that they are doing something very wrong to hurt their beloved YouTuber, when that is
Hmm.
not true. And it comes to a point where the toxicity of that causes the relationship to
I hate
break.
saying that. I
It,
really hate when people use that. It's like, ugh.
I absolutely despise that, because you see it all the damn time, and people haven't really understood. Like, they when that happens, they don't understand why that just happened, when really they're the reason why. It's because of
Yeah,
the
like,
stupid shit you just said.
or did in theory.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's actually a case where I remember a YouTuber I watched who was gay. They
Mm-hmm.
had a partner, and they were basically saying, you know what, I'm going to step away from YouTube for a good while to focus on my life, my job, my significant other, our pet, yada yada yada. And then the fan base just kind of lashed out in a violent way, trying to find out things, call people, just going about it in
Mm-hmm.
such a terrible way. I'm like, guys, no,
I
don't
think
do that.
the only YouTuber I can think of to compare to this, and I actually just completely stopped listening to the fandom altogether, is Sky Does Minecraft, actually.
Mm.
Uh, First girlfriend, she broke up with him because it just wasn't working out, and she was very civil about it. Fandom
Right,
lashed
right.
out saying she was cheating and all that shit, just doing absolutely terrible things. Next
Jesus.
girlfriend, the one that actually had the baby, um, she's very nice. They have the baby. Hello, broski doodle. And
Oh, hey.
and apparently she did cheat on him. Only this time, like, the fandom was really cryptic about it to those who haven't been in the fandom very long, or haven't really seen, or haven't really, who stepped away and then came back, leaving everybody in confusion. So you don't know who to support here, because the person that's being damaged by all this is a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like,
Hold on,
straight away, he's dating again.
Hold on, let me just bring this up real quick. No, just to read Broski's.
I already read it, and it does show up in the stream.
I know, but I like to read it out
All right.
anyways, because people. It's the show's like, yeah, we can all hear you. Don't worry, or being more interactive. So, he says, I've seen streamers and YouTubers' relationships be severely damaged due to the media accusing them of things like cheating, abuse, etc., etc. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why more and more people are like, no, I'm keeping my personal life exactly that, personal, all the way to the right. You're only going to see what I want you to see.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it sound sinister now.
And sometimes that actually does not make it any better at all, because then like the shippers can go crazy. Which is like absolutely hilarious. And like by now, YouTubers really don't care if they're being shipped, as long as it's not being shoved down their throats.
Exactly. Like to me, if
Captain Sparkles in Pro Syndicate, they joke about it all the time. They've just gone with it. They don't care. And one of them is even married now.
Or way back in the day, PewDiePie and Cry. What was it? Cryotic?
It was PewDiePie, yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Septiplier. Oh god.
Oh no.
Septiplier, yeah. Marky Mash was another good one. I actually liked that one. That one was really cute. Just like all these different shipping pairs. Back then, the YouTubers absolutely hated it, and even like started blocking fans out of spite because they didn't like it. Nowadays, they don't care anymore. It's gonna happen. They can't do anything about that.
No, to me, if you reach a certain form of like popularity and people start doing slash fiction or slash art or whatever else have you about anything, I don't view that as creepy or weird or anything. I think that is your status symbol of I'm popular enough to the point where I have my own porn. This is a good day.
And here's the funny thing: some of it is actually really good.
Exactly. Like that's why I never get mad with these people, because they put so much love and effort into it.
I never mentioned this. You know Andre, my character Andre?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, his actual design was based on a shipping fic.
Oh Jesus!
Like, let me explain. It was a Sky Does Minecraft and Deadlock's shipping fic, and it was essentially once they have a broski. Yeah, I know it'll be successful once they have a broski fanfic. Someday, broski, someday you'll get it. I believe. But anyway, the story was really, really well written. It was written by a really good friend of mine who just completely stopped writing team crafted stuff and instead switched over to Rooster Teeth. Mm-hmm. But the way they write is like you're reading a book. It's beautifully written. But essentially the story was Beauty and the Beast, where Sky was like a cursed king that looked like a monster. And by monster, I mean he had really large hands, wildcat teeth, and wildcat eyes. And when a certain time of the year comes around, he has to eat the heart of somebody else. Only human. Jesus. Yeah. And he has an uncontrollable rage and desire to eat the heart of a human. And he's cursed to do this until said human loves him back.
That is.
And
that's like, and we're taking a right. Just.
But again, it's really well written, and the character is like really big too. He stands taller than like Deadlock's character, and when he does eventually snap around the character, he has these golden weapons that he wields. They're essentially wheels around that he holds in his hands that have like spikes on them.
Chakrams.
Well, he doesn't throw them, but he does use them in his hands, like kind of like a punching weapon in Warframe. But he had claws, he had very large hands, like sharp wildcat teeth, cat-like eyes, and an uncontrollable rage. And that inspired Andre's design. Even after building the statue of him, that was what I was initially going for. So, fun fact, Andre came from a shipping fanfic from my ugly days.
But that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that even when, like I said, it's the fan bases of anything can be good, can be bad, and that's the sad truth of it all. But that also brings up something I want to mention. Naturally, someone like, okay, with YouTube personalities or people who do series or anything of that nature, right?
Hmm.
You're always gonna have the more dominant personality of a pair, and gravitate to this individual as the leader of what's the word, of the pair, the
The
protagonist.
dominant is the dom and the sub.
Exactly. Or
I
the
hate
superhero
myself for
versus
knowing this because I am proud to
or
say I am a shipper. I am still a shipper, but I keep it to myself.
fair enough. No, what I wanted to say was it's more along the lines of oh god, a hero and then his sidekick. That's exactly, more PG, I suppose, but that's exactly the case. And I believe one of the perfect examples of this would be Yogg's cast really early back in the day when it was just Simon and Lewis doing things.
Oh gods. Oh gods. I was actually about to mention with the two best friends, their franchise, they've been going for a long time, but Yogg's cast have managed to make it work.
Yeah, but that's my point. People would naturally gravitate to Lewis being not the smarter of the two, but like the cool-headed and the one who is the protagonist, and Simon is just the bumbling dwarf sidekick. And for a while, they kind of embraced that, with some of the things they made, the science craft or whatever they called it.
With Tech It and all that shit.
Exactly. Simon just kind
For
of
the
blend to
most
the
part,
role.
this is to point things out to people. Both of them are really, really smart. They just choose to not go after that.
Exactly, that's my
Every time
point.
you watch every time you watch a playthrough with Lewis, he will actually explain how things came to be from the mind of a scientist. Simon is also very fucking smart. It's just he wants to have fun. He's a goofball, so
Exactly.
he plays the idiot and he actually embraces it sometimes. But otherwise, he
That's
is
what I
very
wanted to
smart.
say. Exactly, that's what I wanted to say. The Simon just kind of naturally fell into the full role, and it's never really affected anything. If anything, it's actually helped them keep their audience, keep the fans
Mm-hmm.
entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time something goes awry, it's either Simon is indirectly responsible, and Lewis is usually the one who kind of suffers the
Cleans it
consequences.
up.
Exactly, and
Or
then when
it's
they brought
Lewis is so focused on what he's doing he doesn't realize he's made a mistake.
exactly, case in point, the old joke of Lewis always leaving a trail of torches everywhere he goes,
That was the
and yet
best joke ever.
wondering why he doesn't have any more torches as he goes further in. That's exactly one of the perfect jokes of the series, really. And then when go ahead.
It's actually funny that we're talking about the two roles they play. They actually another time they embrace this, and this is one of my favorite episodes of the Yog Pod because they just took it and went with it, and it worked. It was so funny. They were in London. There was convention going on, and they met a person that that played a character in Star Wars that Simon absolutely loves.
Oh, I know who it is. Warwick or David.
Something Crumb is the character.
Something
But anyway,
Crumb.
I don't remember. I don't watch Warframe. Warframe. I don't watch Star Wars. Shush! Let me finish.
I don't watch Warframe.
Let me finish. The thing is, Simon was wearing a jumpsuit, blue sweatpants and a blue sweater with Superman on it. He looked derpy. He looked like he was soft in the head. And Simon and Lewis did not. So they approach the guy, and Simon's so excited he can't really talk well, so he's just nodding to everything. And when he finally does talk, he embraces the fact that he looks like he's soft in the head, so he talks stupid. and he gets like an autograph and a picture with the guy for doing that.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are
Exactly my
aware
point.
of what the fandom does, and they just go with it. But they also surprise their own fandom by reminding them, hey, we're actually very smart, and we used to be scientists.
Yes. Okay, here we go. Warwick Davis. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's him.
It's like it was gonna bother me for the rest of.
But I love that episode of the Yog Pod, other than the Teletubby one, which was really weird. Really, really weird.
That was demented. but no, this is the point I want to address though, because going back to the best friends, where this whole started from.
Yeah, we just went crazy.
No. But the thing is that a similar situation was kind of happening with the best friends, and that was they kind of began to embody in their videos the stereotypes they portrayed in their short machinima, I guess, taste of the video game. Matt being very eager to fight shit and the hype man, but very dumb. And Pat being the extremely angry short ginger, effectively. I know it's horrible, but it's true. He is short, and he is in fact ginger. But that was kind of what was happening. They started kind of embracing this nature to them, and then what wound up happening is that they brought Wooly in, and they kind of made fun of Wooly. They kind of make up shit about him, and that was kind of the joke. Wooly is the liar, or Wooly does this, and that's what I kind of suspect is what led to a sort of a shift in the best friends or how they did things, and that was Wooly is not really the bad guy. Wooly is just that prick, even though he's a really sweet guy.
He's the punching bag. The unnecessary punching bag.
Yes, like one of the jokes the best friends would say a lot is at the end of certain videos, Matt would come in with his announcer voice, and he would advertise for their what's the word? For their Shark Robo t-shirt line. That's what they would do. And then in the advertisement, he said something along the lines of, "For every shirt you buy, it'll help us eyes." And then cut
it would
to
help us what? You cut out.
And it will help us to keep Wooly from stealing pies. That was one of the jokes that it evolved. Wooly steals pies.
I remember you mentioning this. I remember the pies and Wooly. I was wondering when that was going to come into light.
Exactly, and that's one of the jokes, and people just kind of ran with the gag. With like certain things like art of just Wooly, face full of like blueberry pie, running away with it in his hands, and even when I don't know what was it? Who launched the pie into space? Who was that?
I don't know.
I want to say it was Elon Musk for some reason. I'm pretty sure it was him. But anyway, so when that happened, Pat immediately brought it up and said, I think our fans have taken it to the extreme. They launched a pie into space to keep it away from you. That got me to laugh a bit, but that's what I think kind of chipped away at Wooly, being the being the villain in quotations.
Like being the villain before he even says his first words on the show.
Yeah, technically. And then you had that whole shtick with Liam, who, not our Liam, another Liam.
We have two Liams, dude.
Okay, not the other Liam, not our Liam, their Liam.
Okay.
But basically, he kind of came in, and the stigma or the shtick for him was basically he's the young rising superstar, like Superstar Liam. Basically, was like his stage name or whatever. And he was obviously the guy who just knew a lot about anime, even though they all knew. And that was the thing. He was the kid in the group that had his weird animes, and whenever they played a Japanese game or a game that had anime in it, they would immediately say, "Is this one of Liam's creepy weeaboo animes we're playing now? Is this what he's brought us?" And that was kind of like the joke. But then for some reason, Liam left before the breakup, and it wasn't really clear why. But again, I suspect it was something to do with the fan base.
Mm.
Again, not in again, I'm not blaming the fans. I'm saying I suspect they're latching on, you know, to a certain stereotype or stigma is what affected um, Liam staying, and then he left, and well, now we're here. And I think, and it's clear that they wanted to stop people from that guy because they kind of put him behind some let's play Dark Souls. They kind of build him up as an arbiter of good and justice kind of thing. And for a while, it kind of worked, you know. And Willie stopped being the pie thief and instead became Woolsworth, the champion of Dark Souls. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking about this either. They would every time they Dark Souls or Souls games, he would call the character Woolsworth the second, fifth, whatever, to the point where it was just basically the clan of the. And it was like this insanely in-depth labyrinth of family trees explaining how this one became a maid, one's like this, and it's like motherfucker.
By the way, we've
That is
been talking
dedication.
almost an hour about two best friends.
Well, it's kind of hard not to. They're
Yeah.
honestly, they are amongst those in, you know, they're one of the ancient YouTube legends. You know, the guys who
I've
made
only
playing
watched
video
like one Let's Play. Only one, and I stopped.
Oh Jesus!
Granted, it was Night in the Woods, and I stopped.
Oh.
Like once I finished watching that, I actually had to grin and bear it through the whole thing. I couldn't watch another.
Fair enough. But this is, you know, like I said, they're one of the first people to make what they do on YouTube extremely popular. Like back in the day when it was just so few people, and now this is another case of the old guard stepping down, and it's a horrible feeling, you know,
Mhm.
to witness a 9-year legacy kind of just end, but not in a bad way. It's just I kind of expected more fanfare, you know, like maybe a celebration or party to remember, you know, that kind of thing.
I swear to God, it's like it's the same bug over and over again on my screen. There's now two of them.
And then we have just random bugs. Okay.
They should
But
be dead. It's freezing cold outside.
they survive by staying on your screen.
Fuck.
But no, like I said, it's just an odd feeling. And unlike preach
Mhm.
about their 10-year legacy that means nothing, these guys actually made something of themselves. And honestly, even without two best friends, I suspect they're still going to find success in whatever they do.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they are good people, you know, good cult of personality. Yeah.
Brutal honesty. The Sky does Minecraft side of this, like that I was talking about, that was awful. No, like he built up 12 million fans. 12 million. Like he was the best Minecrafter out there. He was doing such a great job, and then suddenly he goes, nope, pull the cord, goodbye. And that was it.
Yeah, and that's
And now he's back. He's
find
back. He's at 11 million subscribers. He's back doing Minecraft. And I can't say anything about it because then like they immediately labels me as like the special fucking snowflake.
Oh Jesus!
I'm not happy about what has happened. Like so many YouTubers are doing this. Some of them are doing it the right way, and I'm happy that they're doing something they feel happy with, doing something they want to do. Like I support them, but just how you do it is so important.
Exactly.
Like Sky left Minecraft so abruptly to instead go make music. I still subscribe to his music channels. I still keep an eye out on his music. I don't listen to him. I don't watch them. And I'm still subscribed to his channel for Minecraft. Again, it's back. I'm just not happy with him. It still feels like I've been stabbed in the back.
So he basically just up and leaves. No,
And then he comes back as like no big deal. Though he
exactly.
did make like a vlog where he was aware that he caused some problems. But otherwise it doesn't feel like he even cares.
Exactly. And that's something I've kind of noticed as of late, like with Jacksepticeye and a few other the big names. They seem to be saying that they're leaving or they're gonna stop or whatever else have you. And this is the weird thing I've kind of noticed. This it smells of I'm not happy with the current success I have. I know I've plateaued. How do I get people to jump on my bones again? Oh, I know. I'll say I'm done, and then I'll see the
I hate it when they
outpour
do
of
that. I
support.
absolutely hate it when they do that.
I agree. It's like you've got a literal million to your videos and your channel and whatever else have you, and yet you're angry because
I
you've plateaued.
view it as this.
Mhm.
As somebody who used to care for somebody who was a diehard fan, I actually had to keep my composure for this. You have millions of little lights who look to you because you are the biggest light in their life. You're the biggest beacon in what we call hell, or shall I say life. And you decide to snuff it out. You decide to turn off your light and walk away, and then just suddenly come back and turn it back on. Millions
As
of
if it
little
never
lights
happened.
were looking to that, and they've lost their way. You just up and do
Exactly.
that.
And
For for me,
it's oh sorry.
for me, I lost my light. I lost it. I don't have one. So I had to look to these YouTubers for it. Because that light lost theirs against its will. And you go and do that. You're not going to get my support anymore for doing this. You've stabbed me in the back and in the heart, and you act as though it's no big deal. Don't fucking do that. You have a brain,
Yeah.
you have a heart, you have millions of people looking to you. What the fuck is going through your head?
I don't know. And honestly, again, you're like the lucky this far. Don't squander them.
You're cutting out. You need to leave the call and come back.
Yeah, give me. My God, I hate when that happens.
Mm.
But what I was saying is that it's again we're coming to the point where now newer people are kind of stepping in, and there are those who fill the void and are just better than those who came before. Like I'm a perfect example. I want to say is you know I can't say I trust him all the way. I can't say he's this or whatever. However, I do respect the guy, and it's
Who?
pretty clear
You
he
cut out. Who was it?
Mini Lad.
Yeah. 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 I agree. He's pretty good.
Exactly, and it's obvious he's having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
He's happy to do this shit.
Like
And that good.
him, Vanos, Sexual Delirious, all those guys, they're having fun with it. Like YouTube implodes on itself. They keep going. They don't care.
Exactly. And it's like I said, it's one of those things. It's one of those times where just things change for better or for worse in this case. And to what our point here is for the best friends, I'm happy there was no um
Bad
oh
blood
what's the word?
between them.
No, there was no behind the scenes there was no someone was taking a bigger cut of the revenue, nothing of that nature. At least from what I could tell. I'm
Mm.
happy that they said, you know what, we're still gonna be friends, but we got to stop doing this, and they just ended it amicably. And that's a rarity. That really is.
Mm.
Or we get into extreme depression.
We should have saved
Onto
this for
some
like the end or just before the break or something.
probably should have, but I fucked up.
Or we should have put that at the beginning, then moved to Mech City Brawl and just had a blast.
Oh Jesus. Next time, I suppose. And we're going into this. Kingdom Hearts 3 copies stolen from a warehouse. Oof.
Yeesh.
Any of this.
That's like usually when someone says, "Oh, there was a game that was leaked," everybody immediately looks to like Steam or something. No, this is like quite literally a physical copy of a game has been leaked, as in it has been picked up and walked away.
Exactly. From what I've been able to tell, the game taken from the warehouse or warehouses. Actually, I think it's just one warehouse. I'm not sure, damn it. But from what I can tell, 100 copies were stolen from the warehouse and then sold on eBay and like back alley
Uh,
for obscene prices,
what the fuck, people?
which which isn't surprising. But this is the point of so fucking funny because
I just stole
this
this
is
game that's not even out yet. What should I do with it? I know, I'll sell it on eBay.
it's it's comical, and you know what makes me laugh? Like honestly,
Hmm.
everyone this um
Everyone, what?
everyone who heard this just assumed it was Disney giving the game out early. No, it was actually stolen. And when people figured this out, I actually heard there was a scramble, a very literal scramble to find out where these games get them. It was 3 or 4 days worth of insanity. It's it's like something out of a fucking movie.
You know what makes me laugh even more?
What?
You know somebody sold some of these games on fucking Craigslist.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But no one's posted anything up on YouTube due to legal issues, obviously.
Yeah, good idea.
But you know, for when the embargo is over, the whole place is gonna get flooded with nothing but Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers and cutscenes and just all this craziness. And it's not even gonna be it's not even gonna be the usual outlets that do this, like IGN or Game Informer, and none of these places. It's gonna be randos on the internet, and they're gonna get 1,000 or so and subscribers just because they played their cards right.
It's gonna be fucking Bob from Kansas or some shit.
I'm from Kansas.
Or possibly from LA. That's more possible.
But and you know for a fact that these game journalist outlets, and I say these with the biggest quotation, by the way, they are so pissed and they're gonna like try to get these videos removed specifically so they can do precious little. Oh, and you, what you need.
Okay, you are cutting out like crazy.
I don't know why that's happening.
Let me check stream health. Check audio issues because of your audio. Twitch is not saying anything. It's just mostly YouTube that's freaking out about it.
Hmm. Hmm. Not entirely sure why it's doing that.
Mm-hmm. I think after the Warframe topic, because you've been talking for so long, we take a break.
Oh no, let me try something. I have no idea what that did, so I'm not going to mess with that again. What?
Nothing.
Yeah. But like I said, it's just going to be a mess of people just leaking all this stuff. And I game journal.
Well, okay, nope,
sites,
nope, nope, nope.
What?
No, the audio is still really bad. Is there anybody in your house watching a movie or something?
No, everything's empty as far as I can tell. I don't get why just sometimes this happens out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
Anyway. But no, like I said, I'm waiting for just these game oh god, it's the game journalists to just lose their fucking minds over the fact that they're not the ones leaking it. I can't wait to see those they release and how salty it will be.
So far, the only quote-unquote spoiler they have for Kingdom Hearts 3 is quite literally the scene from Rapunzel where she's rolling down the hill, but Goofy is there. That's the only difference. Goofy is just standing there, watching her roll. That is the only leak that we have.
And then there's Goofy there being Goofy.
She's so happy that she escaped him. Fucking Goofy. That's it. Just Goofy.
Fucking anthropomorphic dog just right there. But no, like I said.
One of my favorite scenes from Stand By Me was when they're trying to discuss what the fuck is Goofy? Is he a dog or is he a person?
But no, like I said, I stopped paying attention to Kingdom Hearts. I kind of finished it. I was like, this isn't for me. It's just too weird. Just random Disney characters and Final Fantasy. No,
yeah.
I'm done. I'm leaving.
Granted, design-wise, it's really nice, but I tried watching, I think it was either Brain Scratch or Super Gaming Bros play like the first Kingdom Hearts. I got till the characters finally meet each other and went, nope, I'm done. I just stopped watching. Just nope, not interested.
An honest question, like, do you think Kingdom Hearts would be better if it didn't have any Disney shit in it and was just another Final Fantasy?
No. It
Yeah.
has to have Disney characters, and that actually makes it a lot better when you think about it, because all the Final Fantasy characters are really fucking dark
and boring.
That too. I like that everybody has figured out like the bad guy, and they're like doing that meme where it's like, who are you? I'm you, but better. I'm you, but more shit. I'm you, but I'm a cookie cutter. Sammy Snow. Kind of hoped it didn't have the Final Fantasy characters. Yeah. I mean, it would have made a lot more sense if it was just like made up characters with Disney.
No, you know what makes it worse? All the Final Fantasy characters are from 7. And that's the problem, because now you're throwing them in, and it's kind of line of.
And there's now like what 15 Final Fantasies, and like all of them are different in some way, like majorly different. In fact, where the fuck are the chocobos?
Well, technically, there's the metal chocobo.
But that's and then the story got really complex. Yeah. I like the one thing I love about Kingdom Hearts, not only the trailers that have that really, really weird music that plays in the background, but the fact that from 2 to 3, you had a new Kingdom Hearts game that was just a complete mess of numbers. Like, make up your fucking mind. Is it 3 or is it half or what is it?
Oh god, yeah.
The one with
That's
like
the thing.
the large number days. I don't remember what the number was exactly. Just all the numbers days. That was
But-
it. It was quite
but
literally
this
like
is-
a fraction. Like literally a fraction.
But this is what I want to say. It's just, I personally could stand on its own without the Final Fantasy characters and without the Disney shit. Because when you really look at it, like sit down for a second and remove everything. Remove the there's Final Fantasy, but keep the protagonist, or keep the, and what
You're
you got
cutting
is
out again.
still, I said, remove everything except keep the protagonist, keep the characters you have, Riku, Kairi, Sora, yada yada yada. Keep them around, and the game still stands on its own. In fact, it makes more sense now, if you think about it.
Oh dear gods, all the games before Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh my god. After Kingdom Hearts 2 is Kingdom Hearts Coded. Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Kingdom Hearts 3D. Dream Drop Distance. Kingdom Hearts X. Unchained X. Mobile game. HD Remix. HD Remix 2. Final Chapter Prologue. The story so far. There's going to be a VR experience sometime in September. Or it was already, it's already announced, possibly.
But like I said, these games have a rich, original story to them. It's hidden there. But the problem is that you add all these other elements to it, it stops being interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, it stops being creative, and then you've got like, ugh. Like seriously, if you remove the Disney characters and the Final Fantasy ones, it's just your run-of-the-mill JRPG, or you have reluctant chosen one, rival who becomes villain, weird life and death bonding hearts. What happened? It's just like I said. There's more. There's more to be kept there, without all this extra. In fact, I think the extra is what causes the game to be so complex and confusing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just no.
There is one thing I like about Kingdom Hearts as it is right now.
Mhm.
The way it's set up, it's similar to like Wreck-It Ralph. Like let me explain. When we watch Wreck-It Ralph, the game characters have their own life outside of their games. Like
Mhm.
whenever I watch a movie, I always wonder, like, what are these characters doing when we're not watching this movie? Wreck-It Ralph explains this for video games. In Kingdom Hearts, it shows you what are the Disney characters doing when they're not in their movie. They're doing this, this, and this. They're in their own little realms, and Mickey Mouse is the one watching over them all. Where the fuck does Final Fantasy come into all this?
I don't know. Again, I am convinced Kingdom Hearts started off as another Final Fantasy set during the events of 7, in the 7 universe. I am convinced that is what the original plan was. And then Disney.
And then Disney.
Yeah. I honestly, what Kingdom Hearts would have been.
I
without-
can hear Jesse Cox screaming from here. From all the way up here in Washington, I can hear him screaming.
I'm sorry,
In
but that still cracks
anguish.
me up.
Complete agony.
No, that still cracks me up. The whole bit with him.
And
Just so
Squeenix.
angry. Exactly.
Just like his complete anger over Final Fantasy, just Squeenix in general. It's so funny. But the funnier part is, it's not even about Kingdom Hearts. It's about Final fucking Fantasy.
Like I said, I gave up trying to understand the Final Fantasy timeline
There is no
decades ago.
There technically is no timeline.
But that's the point. I gave up trying to make sense of any of these games. Decades ago.
The most complex timeline in the game franchise is Legend of Zelda. But even that you can understand.
No, actually, no, you can't. Because in order to understand the timeline, there is an event that splits off into 2 different timelines.
Yeah.
That make no sense.
Yeah. It's a what if. Some of the games are like what ifs.
So that's one of the what is it? One of the timelines. It's Ganondorf wins. For some reason, the world gets flooded. What? How does that make sense?
Because gods are dicks. We've seen this in natural history. Gods are dicks.
So, in order to stop the pig from winning, we've decided to flood the world. The fuck?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this. What's the word? This whole timeline Zelda shit happened because someone fucked up something at some point, and in order to keep their jobs, they just basically invented this timeline shit. I am convinced that's what's
at least
happened.
Between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, it makes sense. Because literally, like, oh, I just defeated Ganondorf. Okay, I'm gonna go here and get my ass kicked and turn into a weed.
A very literal weed.
With like, and have to face off against this guy that has a duck face.
For some reason.
I don't understand that at all.
But you see my point, though.
Mm-hmm.
I am, like I said, I'm convinced someone fucked it up. And in order to keep their job, they just invented this timeline shit on the spot. No, you see, it's all part
I think for the most part, like, Nintendo decided, like, at some point they wanted to do a bit of a reboot. But, like, everybody latched onto the idea that it is a part of the timeline, and then when you really look at it, oh, it is a part of a timeline. It's just an alternate timeline. And it fits somewhere over here.
I'm so tired of trying to make sense. You know what? I actually got a literal headache trying to figure out Metroid Ridley. How is it that
God, yeah, I remember that.
And I was just so angry at the end. I was like,
I like Co-optional Podcast's take on Ridley. like Biscuit was like so supporting Ridley. Like, what the fuck are you going to do? Tell this pterodactyl that drips acid no?
Exactly, you crazy.
It's like, but like, Kingdom Hearts is like a very beautiful looking game. Like, the idea of it is good. It's just like the character choices, like what they chose to use for it was, ow, interesting. I keep bumping my elbow against my desk.
No, it's fine. It's that, and for some reason, the guy who designs everyone has a strange heart-on for zippers.
That was another thing, yeah.
Have you not noticed this? It's like
I noticed this a long time ago.
It's
like in some video games you have the giant buckles. I think that was just in Final Fantasy itself. But in Kingdom Hearts, it's zippers. Zippers the size of dinner plates. And it works.
And in World of Warcraft, it's pauldrons.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even going to deny that. Yeah. And in Overwatch, it's muscles. They love showing off armor that really likes to give you abs, even though you don't have any. Or at the very least, mechanical limbs.
Genji, I'm looking at you.
Oh, I'm looking at Genji. I'm looking at Junkrat and McCree, Doomfist. Don't even get me started on Torbjorn.
And Zenyatta, but he's a robot.
Oh no, Zenyatta doesn't count. Neither does Bastion.
It's like Zenyatta doesn't count. No. It's like,
Like, they even have a skin for Hanzo to give him a mechanical arm.
Actually, I need to ask this like real quick as a slight side note.
Hmm.
Why does Genji have an amazing ass? Who made this and why?
I don't know. The only
It's like
when it comes to Overwatch, the only spot or place where it fails is the writing. The writers don't actually get to see each other, so they write stuff and hope it works. They just cram it in.
so at some point someone said, "Let's give the ninja
Like,
robot
if you thought like the Zelda
sexy ass."
timeline and the Ridley timeline was fucked, look at Overwatch. Some of the characters are older or younger than they should be compared to the timeline.
I just assume nanomachines.
I just
This is a
completely gave up.
universally. No, it's like this is a sentient robots. What else? We've got sentient robots, floating cars.
We have the ability
Australia's
to
nukes.
resurrect the dead. That was another thing.
There's a Mexican ghost floating around for some reason. Is it really so hard to imagine that we've also
We have
managed
talking
to kill
gorillas. And not to mention, like,
Exactly.
hamsters that can build robots. A hamster built a robot that can kill you.
Exactly. So is it so hard to imagine the fountain of youth, and I've been using it for years? We just don't see it.
Oh yeah. Mercy, the winged one, Mercy, helped Genji with his cyborg body, so she gave him the ass.
So this confirms
And
that
Moira, the one with, like, the really cool one with like the destruction and creation orbs, she's the one that made Reaper the way he is now.
Yes, and it's been confirmed she's a giant weeb. she's one Naruto headband away.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, the way she runs. I play as her a lot. I'm not even going to defend her for that one either.
No.
But then again,
So-
when she does her like Kamehameha ability, she floats. So yes, she is a weeb.
So let me get this straight. At one point, so we're basically confirming that Mercy is.
What?
I said, so we're basically confirming that Mercy is a giant perv.
What the fuck, Benjamin Fernandez?
Who?
Look at the chat.
What, the YouTube one?
Yes.
I don't see a Benjamin Fernandez.
Somebody
let me
named
refresh this.
Benjamin Fernandez is putting blocks of random letters in the chat.
Hold on, let
Oh,
me
but only
refresh
I can see it. You can't. Okay.
it. Oh, so what are they
I'm
saying?
going to print screen what they're saying and show you.
All right.
I think they're trying to say something in a different language, but it's just coming out as gibberish.
Let me see. No, I think someone's just. I think.
There we
Someone's
go.
cat has
There we
got-
go. It was just his brother.
I knew it.
Were they just slapping the keyboard or just like laying their head on it and just rolling? What I find funny is that like the second to last one of these bricks has them literally going hew 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 hew. My brother's a dick. Yeah, I can tell. My brother's a dick too.
All right,
No,
welcome to the chat, by the way.
I lost my train of thought.
Well, all I said was Mercy's a giant pervert.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I'm not hearing a rebuttal as to why she gave him an amazing ass.
Like, for the most part, a lot of the ideas that happen with Mercy come from the voice actor.
So
Like,
we're
believe it
also
or not, there's
saying that
actually a
the-
lot of voice lines and a lot of designs that actually come from their voice actors.
So again, we're basically just confirming that The voice actor is also a pervert. It's like I'm just gonna come back to this.
The only way I would say yes, it's true is if they actually do add the line "Cupcakes never die."
Oh Jesus!
Because there was a video where like a group of the voice actors, I believe it was Mercy, Sombra, Symmetra, and Widow were having gourmet cupcakes, like really fancy New York cupcakes, and they were delicious. But they kept saying "Cupcakes never die" over and over and over again as they were eating these things.
The only
And the waiter was just standing there, not knowing what the fuck to do.
No, I remember. I think it was Lucio's voice actor went to a con and got everyone to kind of talk in the characters' voices.
And
then there was another one where everyone just basically boops.
I love that one. I absolutely love that one. I like oh wait, no, that wasn't a con. That was him at work.
Either way, it's funny.
Yeah, I actually follow him on Twitter. He's pretty funny.
Le boop.
Boop. I like the video where they all dance as their characters, and then it comes to Zenyatta. Everybody's like holding this guy up on their shoulders as he's just flailing about in the air.
Send help.
Yeah.
Oh jeez. All right. And from Kingdom Hearts to Overwatch. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I think it's because they both have a cartoony style to them.
Yeah, probably. All right, I guess we're moving on.
Zarya is beautiful. Carry on. I'm sorry, I love Zarya. I have a crush on her.
Apparently everyone does.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So moving on to the side note, or side stuff if you want to call it.
Side note that has now become official.
Yes, hold on a second. Let me, I'm going to try and debug my audio.
Okay.
See if that fixes things. Why do you do this? Hold on, just 1 second.
I can keep the audience entertained the best I can.
Someone is moving something.
Get rid of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Everything looks fine.
Well, you haven't been cutting out as of yet.
I'll figure something out. Anyway, so let's move right along to the brief side note. And that is Warframe, the update that came out, Baruch, and the Orb Heist.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I am not high enough to do it yet. I'm below the rank of doer. I'm like doer or something. I'm one rank below the second to last rank. I was actually just about to get to trusted or old mate. Well, not old mate, but move up towards. You know what I mean. It's the second to final one. The second to second final one.
Yeah, it's the third final one.
Yeah, exactly. Third one.
He's close. Just, like wrapping this all up because we're like trying to list where you are. He is close, but he's not close enough.
Yes, there we go. So
and it doesn't help that he you can't go to the Valis or Cetus, like the plains or the Valis, with the squad.
Yes, as everyone could probably guess here, my internet is horrible to the point where all this is like my audio is perfect proof of this.
Mm-hmm. It's just you say as your audio is coming out perfect right now.
Give it a moment, it's gonna crash.
Yeah,
just mark my words. Anyway.
But essentially, he's on he's got a potato.
Yes. Well, no, it's not the computer. It's just the internet. Anyway, so yeah, as of I think a few days ago, the update came out, which included Baruch and the Orb Heist, along with several weapons.
And Mesa Prime,
aka assless chaps.
I am not kidding. Those are indeed assless chaps.
It's like they know what they're doing. They know. But yeah. Oh, should also mention the latest Corpus shotgun that they released.
Hmm.
It had a bug where the more you shot it, the brighter the crystal that you fired grew, to the point where it looked like you were holding the sun. And Quiet Shallow and DK decided to test this out on the planes, and it was glorious. It was so obnoxious that they just took. They went into the planes. Not the actual planes. The other one. The
Valis.
No. The. Oh god, what's it called? The Captura setting,
Mm-hmm.
and they just the ammo color, and they created they created like a light show at night, and it was hilarious. To the point where even DK say, "I've never taken LSD, but I think this is what it would be like." Unfortunately, it was fixed. They got rid of it, which is kind of sad. I would have loved it as a feature.
This is a bugger feature. Yes.
Exactly. But that's my point I want to address here is that there's that weapon, and there's a pistol as well called the Ping or the Zing or something like that. Piddly. A new cape, which actually has a little function. It opens up, but the more damage you take, the more it closes. It's tied to your health, which I found kind of cool. So those are the two weapons, but unfortunately, you can only build them by doing this bounty and getting the resources. On Woo, I hate that. I really do hate that.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying as hell. So speaking of the orb heist, let's get into it. It's a
Yeah, I
pain in
did the
ass.
first two stages before we started.
Pain in the ass.
You need to be really well equipped for those missions, because the first one alone, not the might. Well, yeah, the mites, but the medium spiders will show up during that mission, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, there's more. There's so the orb mother's shields are based off sentient technology, which we talked about this before, how the orbs are basically new to the corpus, something Neff created, and even the corpus are kind of like, the fuck is this? So this basically just yay us. But basically the shields are adapted, and you can't damage the shields unless a symbol is shown on the orb's head with that damage type. That's the only way you can take down the shield.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It's very clearly designed to have 4 people or 6 or however many there with all different damage types.
You could potentially do it alone if you're clever.
Yeah, basically, your operator's amp just shoot the orb shoot the orb mother, and the shield will. You can force it to cycle into a new damage mode. You could probably, in theory, force it to keep on this one and keep shooting it down. I wouldn't recommend it. I think it's too time costly to get it to cycle. Like I don't think there's a set. Uh, like there's no first corrosive, then radiation, then fire, then yada yada yada. That's what I mean.
But it doesn't
That's
just
it.
like stick with like the elements. It also sticks with like slashing, impact, puncture, etc., things like that.
Exactly. And that's my point. It's like I think it's random. There's no set order of these are the damage types that will be always available, which is a pain.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you have to find the final one a total of 3 times. And it's not fun. You bring down the shields, you get out the Arcwing gun to shoot at the limbs. You then go after pylons to keep it from recharging its shields, but its shields will come back anyways. Rinse and repeat for 3 times. And on the final one, you have a 5-minute timer to kill it, or else you fail the bounty entirely.
And when you do kill it,
That is,
you gotta get as far away as possible.
like I said, this is just. It's like DE. You know, you could probably make this better. You've made the Eidolons, and people don't bitch about those. How is it that you fucked this up so badly? How?
Oh, I know what Ostrich is gonna do.
He's so angry. He's just gonna run around with Kong again.
He is going to run at the Orb Mother and throw a fishing spear at it, and then try and mine its legs with the mining laser.
Well,
All
technically,
while being either Loki or Limbo.
technically speaking, the old mining laser from Cetus, you could upgrade that to be a railgun, and you could actually kill Vehek in one shot. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could do that. I
How do you
really wouldn't.
upgrade those things?
I don't know. Apparently, it used to be something where you could actually upgrade the mining lasers, but then they
Oh,
probably took it out.
yeah.
It's either that or Rhino specific mods that you could put on Rhino and it would affect the laser gun.
Mm,
I think. Don't quote me on any of this.
yeah.
So oh, the orb heists um, are character focused. You know, you'll get transmissions from everyone from Solaris United's break room. It's actually quite fun to hear them talk and have them interact, tell you what to do. It's kind of fun. I do love how Little Duck in one of the what's the word? In one of the bounties, when you're supposed to be meeting with a quill, she immediately is like, "No, he wouldn't come here unprepared. Check the body," and then I love a business like nothing here but fishing bait. It's quite clever, actually. I find it funny. It's very interesting. Yeah, but other than that, it needs work. DE really needs to kind of step in and say, okay, we need to redesign this, make it a bit less bothersome and crash
Hmm.
prone. That, and we have Baruch, who recently came out.
Yeah.
You are still mad about that, aren't you?
About what?
About the fact that you got, what's her face? Um, Garuda, and now, now Baruch's out.
Meep.
Exactly. Let's talk about Baruch then, real quick. He's weird.
Mm,
He's very weird.
kinda.
Oh, no. Okay, so to be more serious, Baruch is an Warframe. I
Is,
was hoping. Go ahead.
is a what Warframe?
Interesting.
Ah.
I was hoping that he would get a quest, but no, like Garuda, he's being relegated to, bounty, which sucks.
Hmm.
I would have loved to know what Baruch's nature was, why he did what he did, and, you know, is he actually a skinned, in quotations, Warframe, like Valkyr? I would have been fun to see or find out about. The pilot behind the Warframe, but yeah.
Yeah.
That said, he actually talks when using powers. And it is disturbing.
Yeah, LT has a point. There was supposed to be a quest for Garuda. Uh, guess not.
Mm. I'm calling it now. You know what? Maybe DE should like say, okay, now that everything's done, let's add the quests in. But no. In fact, you know what? I would be happy if they even released what's it called? A Twitter post explaining their lore. I'd be happy about that, as well. Just ugh, one or the other. But no. Anyway. But yeah, like I said, Baruch can speak when using his powers. It's uh, what he's saying is a real world chant, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was
Baruch,
it?
for those of you who don't know, is actually based on Sudanese tribes. Sudan is a country in Africa. They're actually very well known for that hairstyle that you see like in Egyptian hieroglyphs, the way their hair sits, like how it looks like a perfect comb. That's that's what a majority of their hair looks like. He is chanting actual Sudan language in his abilities. What's he's saying, we don't really know yet. Somebody hasn't really translated that yet.
No Sudanese speakers have translated what he said.
It's gonna take some time.
Oh, I don't doubt it. But there was something I wanted to mention, and that is the sounds he makes, the way he speaks. There is a deep rebarb and rumble when he speaks. The words are felt, not heard, which is a weird way to say it, but bear with me. And I've come to a theory.
Hmm.
What if this is how warframes speak to one another, or used to speak? Deep, mechanical, or semi mechanical growls and low bearing sounds, like belling almost.
When you do quests for infested, you hear them make these really weird inhaling noise, just really weird noises. Like you wouldn't think that they would need to make them when there's no threat. I think that's similar to how warframes are communicating, because warframes, spoilers, warframes are infested base. So it's likely they have the same way of communicating like the infested do, just this weird guttural noise. I mean, they don't have mouths, so they have to make a sound. But when we control
Exactly.
them, they're completely silent.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's kind of led me to assume that whenever we do a quest, right, that isn't like too heavily lore based, you know, like Vox Solaris or things of that nature, those kinds of quests, where the operator doesn't speak. I think the Warframe is speaking. I think they're doing that low guttural voice sound, and they're transmitting what they feel, or you know, their approval or disapproval.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that would be interesting. Like maybe they do speak the common tongue in quotations, but it's a very distorted and low pitched to the point where they just seem less human.
We
And people are like,
do
oh,
actually do hear something similar to this during the sacrifice quest when he's in the bed and he's changing.
oh yeah.
Like Ballas even tells us, that the quote unquote sickness has destroyed your vocal cords. Yeah, we can't talk. It doesn't mean we can't make sound.
Well, no, it sealed his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't destroy the vocals, which were presumably still there.
Yeah, like when Valkyr and a few others, I forget which ones, are the only ones that actually have a very clear voice. She screams, she makes noise. It sounds like an actual person, but she doesn't have a mouth to do this, so to speak.
Well, like I said, I think that the warframes have areas or ports or something around the head region which allows them to ingest or communicate. It's maybe something we
when you
don't
do
see.
when you do one of those missions on the snowy planets where there's a crashed ship, you do see puffs of vapor when they breathe.
Exactly. So that's where I'm kind of like assume that this is where the ports and the sounds would be, just this head region. And based on Umbra's head, when the portion of his skull is broken open, we do see an eye and very clear facial expressions beneath it before the helmet regenerates.
So like
So it's
this
entirely possible that
That means that
Maybe.
they have like sensors to see. And that's how we're able to see through them. But the part about them having a mouth to speak and having a nose still is questionable. They likely have vents on the front of their helmets. It just takes really close investigation to find out.
Yes, it's either that or perhaps there is a way for to quote unquote open its mouth. It's just that there's never been a situation or a time we've needed to do that, in the universe or anything of that nature. Again, I'm a firm believer that I firmly believe they do have a way to open the jaws. Maybe it's an artificial method, but it has to be something, somewhere.
Some of the warframes, even like their default designs, look like they do still have a mouth. They just refuse to open it. Like Excalibur is a perfect example. When you look at the helmet, he's got this crack going through the front of his face, and when you look at it from the side, it looks like a jaw. And like, don't get me started on Ash. That is an obvious one right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the helmets, like this is what I assume. We see Umbra changing through his point of view, but we don't see what's happening. I don't believe he was become what he is now. I don't think that's what happened. I think the infested just start to grow and change certain aspects. But in order to keep Umbra and others like him alive, they brought in the adaptive flesh, the Warframe armor. And then they just kind of attached it to...
Actually, no. Ballas even says it himself. They infected these people, and then their skin turned hard, became sword steel. So the way they look now was actually grown from their own mass.
Yeah, but this is something I need to mention. The armor the Grineer wear is created using the same process. The only difference is that somehow this isn't a living metal. Somehow they've managed to get it to the right state of mass or matter, or whatever you want to call it, and then just turned it into wearable armor. So that's why I'm kind of assuming that they changed internally and externally. The body evolved and mutated, but then they took the infested masses that wouldn't physically mutate, again, like the Warframes, and then they began to hewn the design out, forge it or reform it or whatever you want to call it, and then added it on to the still transforming people. And from there, just kind of became one, I suppose.
They grafted it to them.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, we know that Helminth, should probably put a spell thing. Helminth is like the biggest help in all this. I think what they did, like, infested are branch off in different strains. This is something we have seen. Even if like there are two of the same things, a leaper or a runner, they do vastly different things, and they look vastly different. I think what they did with the Warframes is that as they were mutating, they added a strain of infested that would allow them to grow the sword steel skin instead of just grafting it to them. Because, as you said, like when we see Umbra, we see his skull reform to that sword steel skin. So I don't think it was grafted onto them. It was grown from within using this strain. And
then as it changed and evolved, they just started. I just assumed they started cutting and quote unquote perfecting what was there.
I'm going to be using like the namesake of our show. In Left 4 Dead, we see the strains of like the special infected and how each of them are different. Even if even if there's like two hunters, they'll look different. One has no slaves, one does. I think it's all based on their mental and physical build. Like, for example, Atlas versus Rhino. Both of them are powerhouses. Both of them are tanks. They're very strong. But they look so very different. Like, Rhino has a neck. That's one of the most important things. He has a neck. They're short. That's another thing. They're very short. They're rounder. They don't take as much space as Atlas does. Well, Atlas is massive. A lot of upper body strength. And not very much leg strength. But they both do essentially the same thing. They tank. They fight. They take the damage and then dish it out. My nose.
Exactly, and this is what I'm just kind of putting out there. It's just there's a lot of the Warframes we don't know, and like I said, this is just a theory. I just assume that now we have information. We can obviously see that they speak. They just lack a form of language. It's just a matter of we need to figure out how they're making and how do they survive so long. In quotes here. Again, because we know that the Helmleth virus and the Helmleth chair creates the Warframes. This is something I'm just basically.
And they are also making weird noises to communicate with us. I almost forgot about that. Especially when you use Nidus.
Yes, but this is what I've just assumed. The blueprints are put in through the Forge, and the Forge is used to replicate the inorganic materials. The helmet design, the chassis, and the systems. Then that's sent off to the Helmleth, which then inside that chamber, either in the chair or in that bed in the back. And then from there it sends the completed frame to the arsenal. And then we just use it and wear it effectively.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is going on. Apologies. Like I said, it's just a matter of, the answers might be with Helmleth. We just need to really, he just needs to give us an opportunity to figure shit out.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've covered everything there. Should we take a break now?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
All right, we will be back after a quick break. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now it's just me and the audience, as per usual. We're going to take a quick break. I'll try not to make it take so long. That was my fault at the beginning here. Now's the time to get up and stretch. Contact your mothership, reconnect with the hive mind, stretch, get yourself something to eat, drink, go to the bathroom, etc., etc. You know the drill. I'm going to get up as well. And we will see you. That's not the text I need to bring up. We will see you guys in a bit. I'm going to play the intro music on repeat. If you don't like it, just mute the tab and we'll be back soon. Don't worry. Oh my gosh, that was a very long wait. I am so sorry, everybody. I wanted to make spaghetti. I didn't think it would take that long. Oh, that's a... get out of there. It is 7:44. Oof, that was a very long wait. I am so sorry, guys. Plus, I have a giant bowl of spaghetti. Just gotta wait and see if Rev is still awake.
And we're back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I want to make spaghetti, then I realized halfway through I need more noodles. So I started up like another pot of noodles. And then realized I'm taking a very long time. My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Though, I'll explain something later. So, let's go right into it.
If we need to stop early, just let me know. We can continue this next time we get after the holiday. Fuck.
Hold on, let me see something. Alright, we'll do the Fallout and Tarkov ones. And we'll save the last three for next when we come back.
Yeah. We're probably not going to be here during the Christmas time. When we come back, it's likely going to be near my birthday.
Yeah, so now we'll just do these two, and then we'll save the other three for when we come back. So let's just jump into it. Fallout 76. Like I said, the gift that keeps on giving. As of late. Oh boy. So basically, as the title or the information says, people have been digging into Fallout 76's game files and source codes, and a horrifying revelation has been discovered.
Loot boxes.
Yes, and this has been what the industry is now shifting to avoid scrutiny from countries that have outlawed loot boxes. Rather than basically what they're doing now is they're not putting them in the game when it starts, so people give them praise and yada yada, and more people buy. Then once the sale period for the quarter passes, they add the loot boxes in. So that way everyone, we've already got them, the reviews are out, and whatever they say now doesn't matter. And the countries can't get rid of us because, well, they already pay for it. That's the new plan. And it's very clear that 76 is doing the same thing. As it turns out, It's a Gundam and a few others have actually read the files, and they have discovered that the loot boxes are going to work just like the Call of Duty World War II ones.
Oh boy.
In which, if you're going to open one, it's a big public event. Everyone comes to watch what you get. So that way it incentivizes other people to buy loot boxes to get what you might have gotten. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, it's just gotten worse. It turns out that they are actually reusing the lunchboxes from Fallout 4. If you didn't know, in Fallout 4 there are little metal actual lunchboxes in the world, and you open one up, and inside you get a little model of a robot or an enemy. And when you open it, there's a little confetti shoots out and a little music plays, and then you get your prize. They have discovered that it's exactly that in loot box format. They're literally stealing from their own game because they're too lazy to create their own loot box. Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, like I said, it's disgusting. It really is. And more people are catching on to this. Then it's revealed sometime last week or so, actually, and started throttling XP gains. But in this case, it's not XP, it's the amount of money you get for the cash shop. And as it turns out, you will slowly, over time, get less and less money as you play. Some people have actually reported only getting 300 points after playing a good while, where before they would get somewhere around almost 1,000 points. And it turns out that everything inside the cash shop is in the thousands regions, like 10,000, 3,000, yada yada yada. So your choices are either to grind for hell to hell and back to get enough money to buy things from the cash shop, or effectively, you know, buy loot boxes to get a chance to win that thing and money. It's disgusting. It really
Woohoo.
is just disgusting. And this is what I worry, because we are making good headway in the loot box war. We are winning this conflict. However, I know it's hyperbolic, but to me, it is a war.
Yeah, I'm not down it. I just can't believe it's a war.
Exactly. But basically, we are now winning. The governments are getting involved. People are putting their foot down, and we're saying, no, we're quite done with being exploited. You either make good games and we stop all this, or you don't. Plain and simple. However, my concern is that if this is a trick they can pull to avoid legal scrutiny in the first inspections, then they'll likely keep pushing this. Games will have everything available from day one, but over the course of time, it's just going to be worse and worse to get it. And then that's when the loot boxes are introduced. They make it such a terrible grind that you practically beg them to give you a loot box just so the grind ends. And I'm hoping that this isn't something they can exploit to get out of the legal trouble. I'm really hoping it's what's the word? I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping these governments are smart enough to say, wait a minute, they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes again. Fucking no. That's what I'm hoping, anyways. It's a mine. This is what happens whenever we talk about loot boxes. Our life just drains
We
out
feel
of us, and we
ourselves
feel
get a couple
depressed.
thousand years older.
Exactly, where we actually long for the days when a game was what you got. Everything was advertised right on the tin.
I agree, LT. I am so done with the loot box bullshit.
I think we all are really at this point. Nobody, like I said, these companies are like, oh, but if you don't let us nickel and dime you, governments will come in and they'll patrol everything. It's like, motherfuckers, we are so
We're
tired.
so
We're actually
aware of
welcoming.
this. We want this to happen at a minimum. But for the most part, this needs to stop.
Yes.
Where's Omni Voice's Rhino going, this has to stop?
Exactly. It's time to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just at this point, people are tired. People are done with the loot boxes. We want decent games, and the ESRB, ironically, to stop this kind of shit. But because they have their own lobbyists, and because companies like EA, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, these companies come in and they say, "Oh, if you let us get away with this, we can what's the word? We can throw you a couple $1,000 every time if you let our games go through the rating system. Nobody has to know." And they never stopped it. They never said, okay, enough's enough, or this, and this. It's never been the case. It's always been a constant badgering
Mm-hmm.
of, of just shit, basically. There have been states that have outlawed this stupid system Bethesda's asking for. Exactly. That's basically it. And like I said, people are just so fucking tired and done with these Everyone's just done with it. Everyone is getting involved. In fact, the congresswoman had actually contacted the ESRB and tried to negotiate to have this sort of problem stopped, and they just ignored her. They just said, "Oh, we're looking into it. We're looking into it," but they never did. And now she's decided, okay, I've given you the ultimatum. You decide to ignore it, so we're just
She
going
even gave them warnings.
to. They ignored it because they didn't think, oh, it's just some dumb congresswoman. She'll likely be elected out of office, and then we can just keep going. But no, now you've got to lay in the bed you've made. And like I said, these companies have no allies. They have no gamer support because everyone and their mother are abandoning ship and saying, "Nah, we're done here. We're done here." And this is something else I've noticed. I think a lot of the big YouTubers, individuals who make a living off of game reporting and trying to be honest about things, I think they secretly thrive on these practices. Not saying that
Uh,
it I'm not saying individuals like, Angry Joe or Jim Sterling are, getting a paycheck from Activision every time they talk about it. No, what I think it is that they are enjoying the fact that no, sorry, they're benefiting from the fact of constantly talking about these things because people are so tired and they want a voice of reason in this chaotic time. That's what I think is the case. I'm not saying they're thriving on purpose. I'm saying they're thriving in terms of like, well, it's been a slow week. Time to look up what's going on. Oh, good. EA shut the bed again. I can talk about this for 10 minutes and get some money in. Again, I'm not calling anyone out. I'm just saying like they kind of thrive off of this unintentionally. It's kind of showing.
Yeah.
And I agree with Bill. I agree with a lot of people. This is going to be a slippery slope heading forward. Because once, we get rid of loot boxes, when do you stop the government from pushing further? It's going to be, 20 years of government interference before something similar happens. This is how historical movements occur, so to speak.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, we've covered that quite well. So we can go on to our last topic of the night, and we'll save
Well,
these.
I sent you a message. Would you like me to do the PlayStation and Godzilla stuff by myself? I can do that pretty easily, and we can save the no face badasses for. That sounds so mean.
Yeah, go
The
ahead.
no face badasses for when we come back from Christmas.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, because like Godzilla and PlayStation is my thing.
All right.
But let's
sorry,
focus on the last topic first, so you can go to sleep.
Yeah, because unfortunately I got shit to do tomorrow, and it's like.
Yeah, my bad.
Nah, it's fine. So anyway, well, I guess this is the last topic for me of the evening, anyways. So that is Escape from Tarkov. Devs abuse the YouTube claim system to silence criticism of their game. The individual in question is someone who's actually supported their game for quite a while, called Eroctic. According to what has happened, Eroctic had discovered an exploit which basically it allowed people to exploit the game, and it was a data breach basically.
Yeah.
And people could hack into other people's accounts and get their information and then get them banned. Erotic had discovered this through a outlet post. He didn't even discover this himself. He just kind of discovered the story. So, doing the right thing, he got on his YouTube page and warned everyone about the situation. There was no malicious intent, there was no plan, nothing. It was
a
just,
guy
hey,
helping out.
Exactly. However, the Tarkov devs went absolutely mental and attacked him and hit him with 40 copyright strikes against his channel. Yes, you heard that right. 40 copyright strikes.
God damn!
A blatant abuse of the YouTube system. Now, according to sources, it turns out this is not the first time they've done it. They actually attacked someone else who was much smaller than Erotic, and due to the size of this individual, nobody knew this happened, unfortunately. It's clear they're doing this again, not because, well, basically, they released a statement saying, we had to do this to stop the spread of misinformation, because once it starts, there's no way of stopping it. That was their defense. However, it is blatantly clear, based on the situation, based on what Aroctic did, and based on what the devs did, that this is not a case of stopping misinformation or anything of the like. This is a direct, um, a malicious attempt to quote unquote flex their muscles. They did this specifically to show the world, look, we know there's a problem, but this guy's criticizing us. And this is what's going to happen to all of you. You criticize us. Boom, hits them with outside source. They basically, go ahead.
Are we going to have issues by talking about this? I'm hoping you're understanding my concern here.
I know. A lot of other people have talked about this, and everyone's keeping an eye on the devs themselves. We're not in any danger because bigger people have actually are keeping an eye on them, and any attack they do again, any copyright strike similar to this, they're gonna get called out for it big time. You know,
Right.
I'm not trying to say like we have an army that defends us or anything of that nature. No. I'm just saying it's like they have bigger fish than us to fry, effectively.
Yeah.
In quotes here. But that's the point I'm trying to make. They went mental. And now individuals like Young Yeah, Sid Alpha, Jim Sterling once more, individuals like these, guys who make it their business to get up in another person's business when they fuck up, are just going mental on these guys. And it's very clear they're not going to get away with this effectively. And as we know, for a free-to-play game like this is a death sentence. Because the moment any kind of bad publicity hits you, you lose, that's when the player base just says, okay, you know what, these people did that to him, what's to say they won't do this to me? You know what, I'm pulling out, da, 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 da. And it's, it's a tidal wave of, well, there goes the neighborhood, effectively.
Yep.
And it's quite sad, really. Well, sad in quotations. As it is. And to be honest, Digital Extremes isn't innocent of this either. Let's break the ice.
I remember this story.
Well, it's not just this. What's the word? It's not just the RevX Dev situation. Something else recently happened, actually, about a month ago, I think.
Oh God.
It was a glitch with Fortuna, as it was. A YouTuber discovered the glitch, and basically, whatever this exploit was, I can't remember off the top of my head, really. Whatever this exploit was, it made it so anything you had under-leveled would be mastery ranked within minutes, or even seconds. That quickly. And so the guy records the whole thing and reveals the exploit. This is where DE kind of steps in, and they banned him for about 20 years, give or take, from the game.
God damn.
And yeah, but people are, again, this is a kind of a morally gray area as well. Because this is an exploit that is in Fortuna, and it wasn't just him who did it. It seems that other people accidentally stumbled across this as well, and they had the same situation. And DE has banned these individuals as well. And this is where the morally gray situation comes in, unfortunately. Between when the exploit was put on YouTube versus how long it's been since the exploits existed, DE can't tell who saw the exploit to cheat the system on purpose or who just did it by accident. Unfortunately, they still went with the nuclear option.
Yeah.
And, this has been a kind of an issue I've had with DE for a while. And that is, they are so scared to death about anything negative hitting Warframe, anything that would, destroy their game's community as it is, that they are quick or extremely quick, effectively. Sorry, they're extremely allergic to criticism. And once an actual issue and someone has an issue with it is presented, they you know they don't act fast enough. They kind of drag their feet, and unless this person uses their YouTube platform, they rarely do anything. And then, and like I said, this is my problem with DE. This is what I've always kind of had with them. They're quick to embrace the good, memes, community, yada yada. But when it comes time to talk about the issues the game has or legitimate criticisms they may have with the creators or the game itself or whatever else have you, DE, is just, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I said, they hit the nuclear option without a doubt.
Yeah, they jumped the gun.
Exactly, and like I said, this isn't something you should do, in my opinion.
Ah.
Yeah, charming. But like I said, it's like DE knows the internet. They know what would happen if a lot of negative stuff started cropping up around Warframe. They would, MMOs like these live and die by their reputation, and the people are quite finicky. But by the same merit, if you continue to promote individuals who are, and I don't want to say negative, but promote individuals who are more favorable to you than actually saying, look, these are the problems with your games, but overall I don't hate you, that's when the problem kind of creeps up with me. And that's something I just, again, it's a weird place for me to sit. Because, they not only have the communities, they have the Guides of the Lotus and all that stuff, but they also have the influencers they have, DK Diamantes, Quiet Shallow, Mogamu, Gay Guy Plays, all these individuals. And to be quite frank, I've heard and seen things from them that have actually made me kind of disgusted with, as people, I should say.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've said 100 times, there's a reason I watch Mogamu and why I don't like the guy to begin with. Same with DK Diamantes and the Gay Guy Plays. There are reasons I don't watch these individuals. Now, do I, personally hate them and wish ill upon them? Hell no. It's just, it's a case of, look, you've done shit I don't approve of, so I'm taking my business elsewhere. I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to say shit about you, yada yada. I'm just, there's no need to escalate something over petty shit, is what I want to say.
Yeah.
But in the case of these developers, the Tarkov ones, what they've done is beyond disgusting. And again, this is going to affect their game as a whole and their business. Not just that, but you know what's ironic about all this?
What?
Like, honestly ironic? The fact that they did this to silence criticism of the game, or to quote unquote stop false information, but instead it has signal boosted. And our their scummy behavior has been exposed to the world. And now there's more of a spotlight on them than they wanted. So good job, guys. You played yourselves.
Yep. Just using that meme.
I love using that meme. It's funny. But don't tell me you do not enjoy the occasional Drake.
I didn't get that. What?
I said, don't tell me you don't enjoy the occasional Drake.
Nope.
Wow. And we've been on the internet for how long now? Yeah, boy.
I try to ignore memes half the time. Other times, I spam the shit out of them, get everybody angry at me, and then laugh.
No, but that's the thing. I embrace the meme unironically.
Oh, I
embrace all
know.
memes. Let's see. Fuck it. I could probably spend the last 2 topics. It don't seem to be too long. It's fine.
Only if you're
Alright, let's
sure.
see. Yeah, this shouldn't take too long, so we'll be famous last words. Alright, let's see. Moving right along to Godzilla.
Oh, I was actually
sure
getting
you don't have
images
them.
for that.
All right. So I've only been here, and there goes my charger.
Smooth.
I've just been hearing sporadic information when it comes to this. But apparently people are not happy with Mothra's new design.
I can understand why.
Okay.
Kind of. So,
All
me
right,
being the
well,
expert here, bit of a fun fact. The first ever Godzilla movie I owned was Godzilla vs. The Thing, which was essentially Godzilla vs. Mothra. It was a very crappy looking movie. I'm just going to flat out say it. And she looks really weird. Like she's actually made of like old coats.
and it's a moth. Oh, the
Yeah.
irony.
But all in all, she's really pretty. And throughout like the years, her design has not really changed that much. She kept the same color palette, the same fluffy cuteness and beauty. Overall, she still looked really weird. I'm just like comparing the images here.
Yeah.
And the last time we see her, she kind of goes back to the original design where she's thin, she's not very fluffy, she's kind of ragged and old. But of course, she dies, as usual. She always dies. But in the
For
new
some strange
film,
reason.
she looks different. Much, much different.
Yes, I'm actually looking at an image of the new Mothra.
I actually have an animation of it.
Oh, good.
What essentially they've done is that they have instead like gone with the usual moth design that she is and went with a more lunar moth. If that makes sense. My brain goes to Lunesta for some weird reason.
Okay.
But essentially it's a silvery greenish moth that is so shiny it looks like it glows. And in this case, she does indeed glow. She is bioluminescent. YouTube, don't hate us. We are using something from Legendary Pictures. I mean, clearly she still has some patterns from like her old design. She has the eyes on the wings. No, this is my spaghetti. Nope, get here. Bug. There's a bug attacking me. But the only difference is, instead of having her golden glow that we all know her to have, she glows green.
We could use an artist rendition.
Yeah.
Just saying. It's like if we're that scared of like Legendary Pictures going at us, we just could use an artist rendition.
There are people reacting to the trailer all over YouTube.
Yeah, fuck it then.
Because a lot of like the artist renditions are actually fan art.
Yeah. But that's the thing I'm looking at. Like I am looking at this in real time as well, and from what I can tell, the Mothra people are kind of like not pleased with. Like from what I can tell, people don't like the fact that it's because it's a new design, and the old Mothra does kind of look realistic in quotations. She does actually look like a moth.
Uh-huh.
It's just this one looks more like a. It also looks like a realistic moth. It's just different.
Yeah.
I think that's why people are angry.
Like, the fandom was really angry with the way Godzilla was designed. Because he was fat, and that was it. Just because he was fat. And I keep bringing this up to remind them, Godzilla in 1990s was so fat, his head was tiny. He was a pinhead. He quite literally looked like a bowling pin. And when we finally get a realistic Godzilla, that's your only defense? He's fat? Honey, Godzilla has been fat for years. The only time he was ever skinny was in 2004, which is where the bottom left Mothra came from. Even then, they were trying to go a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, and ironically, you all have a problem with the American one, yet they released the what I like to call old Godzilla in tree form. No one has a problem with this.
Mm-hmm. Like
Well,
nobody was bothered with the giant plant Godzilla. In fact, they loved it. They thought it was very
even though
funny.
it's
Nobody has a
probably
problem with Rodan's design.
well, yeah, but that's because I think it's closer to what the classic Rodan looked like. I
True.
think.
Nobody has a problem with King Ghidorah's design either, and he's not even realistic.
Mm. It's Mothra that everyone has a hard time with. But you know what's funny? I'm actually seeing a hyper advanced screenshot, like cleared up and everything, of the Mothra in this trailer, and guess what? She still has the same colors.
Thank you.
Yeah, here's the funny thing. So basically, apparently, everyone's pitching a fit about it because the Mothra they've been seeing is just that image. And so everyone just assumes she's blue and will always glow throughout the movie. Yet in this image I have from Gojipedia, Mothra Monsterverse, it turns out that she still has the same color scheme. It's just a lot smaller and her body's more thin. In fact, she still has the baby blue eyes too.
Oh yeah, that's
And
the thing about Mothra. You can't get rid of her blue eyes.
and she, you know what's funny? It's the same thing. It's just the face is smaller. She's just same color palette, same fur design, just thinner. You people are pitching a tent over nothing. We saw a brief snippet of a Mothra in the trailer, and yet we didn't pay close enough attention. But fuck it, we're gonna rage anyways, guys. Come on.
Like, nobody's pitching a fit about the fact that there is a three-headed dragon that from outer space when they know that Legendary is going for a more realism approach, somewhat realism.
Yeah.
Why aren't people bitching about that?
Because it's King Ghidorah, and you can't. He's Godzilla's rival. You can't pitch a fit about him. It's like, fuck off. It's like nobody cared about the fucking Mutos either. In fact, most people loved them.
Oh yeah, because it was a new monster. New dinosaur. It's a new monster.
I mean,
Something we've
technically,
never
you're
seen
not
before.
wrong. It's like you're not wrong about that dinosaur comment.
Yeah, but what I found funnier is that more people were rooting for the Muto. Like they realized that Godzilla was like a giant cock block. It's like we want to bang. No.
We want to bang. No, you won't. Like,
Yep.
motherfucker. But no, like I said, from what I can tell, Mothra's just gonna be like I said. She has the same colors, the same design. It's gonna be overshadowed, apparently, by the movie's constant use of dark blues. So it might. So this is why I think it's either going to be her wings are always going to be giving off that blue lunar light, which will
We are
completely.
Godzilla Tracker does say that she's bioluminescent. In the
Exactly.
original
So
movies, she wasn't, but when she was close to dying, she would like shed the scales on her wings, which glowed gold.
oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But if she glows blue, oh no.
Oh no!
Mm.
I mean, nobody has a problem with the male Mothra, which had green eyes and could turn into a fish. Get covered in armor and suddenly turn super fluffy. Nobody has a problem with that, but this, oh no! She glows
Exactly.
in the
Oh no.
dark. Oh no! What have you done?
But to me, it looks like she's just going to be blue when the situation demands it. Like it's either going to be the movie itself is going to have a lot of blues in it, which will force her to have that bioluminescence, or she will naturally produce the bioluminescent when like a fight starts or something. That's what it looks like to me. Because based on the screenshot I've seen, it's not like I said. It seems like the wings are going to be producing a lot of the blue, but her body's still going to look the same. So if you're really bothered by it, just focus on the body.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's bound to be normal in quotations to all of you.
Yeah.
It's like, people, come on. It's a fucking
It,
bug.
like stop judging before you see it.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to try and pull up this image just so you can put it on screen. Because fuck it.
Okay.
Godzilla. No, not Monster Planet. King of Monsters. Mothra. It's like I swear I'm gonna get bombarded by like 5 people who say this is the reasons why the new Mothra sucks.
You know what? If you guys are gonna have that kind of bombardment, send it to me, because I'm the Godzilla fan here.
No, I mean like the search engine is just gonna be nothing but bitching about why 5 reasons Mothra's new design is terrible.
If you search Tumblr, it's all about how Tumblr has reached the apocalypse. It's still here, people. It's still here. It's just fucked.
It's all technically it's just all the people bitching because their livelihoods have been destroyed, and it's like I feel terrible about that, but at the same time it's like people, you do realize you kind of brought it on yourselves.
Also, porn is not the only thing that site was for. As great as it was, it's not the only thing.
Okay, I think this one will look the best. So, boop. Yeah, I have 2. One large, one's kind of like smallish. It's the same thing.
This image, I was trying to find it.
Yes. But you see, it's she still has the colors. It's still the same Mothra. It's just her wings are blue.
It's just she doesn't look like a puppet.
This is what people are bitching about. She doesn't look like a puppet now.
She's not a puppet anymore. Here's the funny thing. Another monster movie I got, like my second monster movie, believe it or not, was another Mothra movie.
I need to look that up now.
Godzilla versus Mothra, Battle for Earth, I think it was something called. But anyway, when he grabs Mothra by the head to fight her, you actually see the strings attached to her wings just go crazy. Like, there's a reason why they film Godzilla fights at night instead of during the day anymore.
So you can't see the strings.
Yeah, but it doesn't help. It really doesn't help.
You know what's funny? I do enjoy the cheesiness of the Godzilla puppets. I actually was hoping that I kind of hope that the Shin Godzilla would kind of emulate that too.
They kind of did. The body is CGI, but the face is actually real.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the movie has a weird contrast to me, like a very off feeling, and I can't really explain it.
Here's something I like about Japanese movies that have CGI. It looks really good. Like,
when done right.
It's done really well, depending which movie you watch. When you compare it to American, it's just no. They put a lot of effort into it. With America, like nowadays, we use CGI to cover up mistakes. With Japan, they use CGI to bring light to something, to actually give you a good idea of this could very much be real, and you could never tell.
Yeah. Like, okay, here's an example. Like, you mentioned that the Godzilla body, the Shin one, is CGI, but the head is a puppet, right?
Hold on. Spaghetti.
It's alright.
I was wrong.
No,
the feet, the tail, and the head were all real.
Then that's what I was gonna say. It's like they used that, and then they said, okay, here's the puppet in a raw state. So now we're going to take the 3D modeling tools we have, and we're going to add detail, cover, make it look more alive, and boom, there we go. And it worked. It fucking worked. As amazing as that sounds. Now, I want to bring up something funny real quick, just to really hammer home that whole CGI bit. And I'm going to use Star Wars again. So I'm going to bring up the counter.
Oh boy.
Well, here's something funny. In The Last Jedi, the worst Star Wars, apparently. Well, it is. There is a scene during the big final duel in the movie, and in it, one of the guards actually has his weapon CGI'd out of the movie. It's there. Basically, he has 2 dual dagger kind of weapons, and he's got her by the forearm. So you would think he's going to bring the left arm around to his chest. But the moment he brings his body around and like grabs her arm, you see his other arm outstretched and everything. The weapon's gone. Yet he's still you can tell he's still holding it in the shot. They removed the weapon so people wouldn't point out, why doesn't he just stab her now? In fact, let me find it.
I was wrong again, by the way.
Oh.
At one point, they did have a puppet, but it was an animatronic, not a person.
Let's see.
And I think I might know what scene it's from.
Okay. Oh, where is?
That scene where Shin Godzilla hunkers down to blast his breath for the first time. That was the puppet.
Ah, here it is. So sorry about the quality. This is a YouTube thumbnail. I hate using these, I really do. But it's the best way to kind of show this without, the having to search two separate images. So this is what I'm talking about. You see?
I'm mostly laughing at his helmet.
Oh yeah, this guy's an idiot. But this is what I'm saying. He doesn't drop the weapon. There's no moment where we cut to his hand and the weapon falls. No, it's just CGI'd out of existence. Because Rian Johnson is a fucking idiot. Yeah, I'm still mad with him, by the way. Fuck you, Rian Johnson. Fuck you. The only good thing you brought to Star Wars is the fucking horses, and even that's a rip-off Guardian, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Or as someone called it, spores. Space horses. Spores. Actually, you want to know something else that's funny?
Mm.
The island they were filming part of the movie on, Skellig, infested with puffins. But due to UK law, they can't remove the puffin, forcibly get them away from the sets. So they had to CGI them out most of the time. So they just created a porgs to replace them in the shots. Oh my god, that still cracks me up.
Holy shit, there was actually a puppet in the 1998 Godzilla. When he's in New York?
Really?
It's I think it's either bigger or the same size as the T-Rex.
That would explain the advertising.
Yeah.
You remember those. Like on the buses, like his foot is bigger than this bus. It's like, okay, that explains it.
Well, actually, no, that was in like the featurette on the DVD.
Oh no, that it was actual. I remember this very clearly. They actually had buses like that. I remember seeing them.
Mm. I remember the commercial where he eats the Doritos out of the truck, and then it shows him like licking his hand.
Yes, that was funny. Let me see. Yep. Fucking idiots. All right. Well, I guess that covers that. So, in conclusion, Godzilla fans, stop being stupid. Relax. Calm.
Hold your judgment until you've seen the movie. That's all I can recommend.
Calm your nuclear tits.
If you don't have tits, then that's great. Good for you. Please fucking calm your nuts then.
Your nuclear nuts. By the way, it's like the reason why we're being so vulgar.
It's because we're tired.
No, the joke. Episode 34. Rule 34.
You cut out before finishing that joke earlier, so nah.
Fuck off then. Alright, and I guess we'll go into the last one, and that is PlayStation Classic.
I'm actually looking at a GameStop page for this, and I've linked it in the description on YouTube. I'll put it in chat.
Okay.
But essentially, PlayStation. Oh, that's a wrong button. PlayStation Classic does the exact same thing that the NES Classic and SNES Classic did. It's a teeny tiny version of the original console. I believe I got that right. Yep. There it is.
Yep, it is.
It is tiny, and it has 20 games on it. And GameStop even has a list, unlike the other website that I got these pictures from. Where is the list? Here it goes. Just a few of them to list here. Grand Theft Auto, Metal Gear Solid, Tekken 3, Twisted Metal, oh that's a good one. Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Intelligent Cube, that's with a Q, Jumping Flash, Mr. Driller, Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Rainbow Six, Wild Arms, and that's just to name a few. Like 20 games.
I was expecting more, to be honest.
Oh, they can't fit
All
that
right,
much on there, or else it would just be no.
Well, here's something funny. So the price for this is basically $100.
Yep, flat 100.
I mean, that's not too bad for what it is, except you know, there are emulators. You can get those for free.
Yep. I know
Yeah,
that
people
for a fact.
exactly. It's like people aren't really happy with, to be honest, though. It's from what I can tell, people are just not pleased with it because it's like, again, it's the emulator argument. Why would I shell out $100 for a tinier version of my childhood when I can just go online, type in emulator games, and just go
I mean,
with that?
there were far more PlayStation 1 games than those, just 20.
Exactly, and that's not our case. Why would I want to do this when more than likely I'm not going to get my game that I want to play for my childhood is also not there?
Here's the thing. The games they listed are like, some of them are big names. Grand Theft Auto, Final Fantasy, Twisted Metal, I forgot to mention Final Fantasy, Oddworld, Resident Evil, Rainbow Six, and all that jazz. Do you want to know what my favorite PlayStation 1 game was of all time?
What?
Rat Attack.
Oh, yeah, I
A
remember you
shitty
mentioned that.
little game that I absolutely adored. And I know for a fact it's not going to be on that game, on that console.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the PS1 or the PS Classic. There are too many PS1 games out there in the world or in the wild. And, you know, to port them all over to this teeny tiny little piece of plastic.
And here's another thing. There are so many games out there that you wouldn't, that some of the games that were actually somebody's favorite, you would not suspect of even having popularity. Again, Rat Attack.
For example,
Nobody knows what Rat Attack is. There's no search for it. There's only 2 videos for it.
No, here's the thing. There was I believe it's no, I think that one's PS2, never mind. But here's the funny thing. There are a lot of shitty Resident Evil clones. And by that I mean, you know, tank controls and item management games. In the vein of Resident Evil. And some of those are shit, but they're also incredibly fun to play for the for their nostalgia or novelty. Like, hold on, is Parasite Eve on that list?
It didn't list all of them.
Okay, let me check. Just to be safe.
But from what I'm understanding here, it's very possible you could install a game.
Classic. Hold on, let me check.
I've never really seen like a classic in person, so I don't know if that top piece would even open.
Okay. Parasite Eve is also on the PlayStation Classic. Good.
Is Rat Attack there?
I will check. No.
Oh! That was the most amazing game ever.
Rampage is also apparently not on that list.
Oh, what the fuck? Well, maybe it's because like there was a movie about it. They don't really need to. There's even been like a new game.
Yeah, a movie with Basically, we want it to be Godzilla without paying.
Well, I still want to see that movie. I don't care if it's not Godzilla. I love Rampage. I don't like the original.
We'll see. Let's see. But no, that's what I'm just saying. It's like I want to see, I would hope that this, like I said, this just kind of smells of, we want to kill emulators. This is the way to do it. At least to me, that's what it feels like. And that might be a cynical way of viewing it, but have you seen what they've been doing as of late? Do you really think cynicism should be ignored? Really?
No.
No. Actually, you know what I would love to see? Like, legitimately?
What?
I would love to see new games recreated in old graphics.
There's an artist on Tumblr that actually downgrades games. Like they did Mass Effect in the same style as Half-Life 2. Sorry, Half-Life 1.
Yeah. Games made ugly.
But they look really good. That's the problem. They're ugly, but they're good.
Yeah, but that's the point. People are kind of like, oh, I PS. Could you imagine if it was like, remember all those years back? And it's like, well, here you go. That's what I would love to see. I would love to see how newer games like, Mass Effect, or Dark Souls, or any of these games being remade as PS1 games. Just to see if people would also be like, oh, this is so amazing. If their nostalgia for the PS1 or games of that nature carry over to their newer games, or would it actually improve it, ironically? Oh, man, but could you imagine it? Mass Effect as a PS1 game. I'm telling you right now, things that made Mass Effect revolutionary would be downgraded to hell and back. But still amazing.
I'm looking through my childhood at all these cats from Rat Attack. Played Manx all the damn time.
But no, like I said, my ironically soft spot for the PS1 and PlayStation 2 days.
Yeah,
specifically,
same.
Because to me, I feel like that was the heyday of creativity, where
Yeah.
people just said, "Fuck it, let's try and rip off Resident Evil, but add our own spin to it. We'll steal the gameplay, but we'll make it unique." Or experimental games, or just crazy shit in general. That's what I miss. That's what I honestly miss of those days.
I liked watching my brother play Twisted Metal too. Those were good days. And also Legend of the Dragoon. It's like, hey, there's this game called Final Fantasy. Why don't we take that and shit on it? And look, this shit is amazing.
No, you want to know what's funny? Insomniac is recreating their old game in HD graphics for the PS3. And yet we're sitting here, we're enjoying it, we love it, and yet we're sitting here wishing that newer games were made for older consoles. Is that not the funniest thing?
Kinda.
I
mean, we're wanting the reverse. We want new games to be old, and we want old games to be new.
Yeah, exactly.
It's weird, but also very amusing.
Yeah, that would honestly make, just make me a very, very happy person.
I want Rat Attack to come back to the spotlight, goddammit. It was a good arcade game. I'm never gonna let this go.
I'm sure if someone like you had Drive, they could probably redo it in as a free-to-play game. Well, not free-to-play, but like a free recreation on Steam or something.
There is, I did just find an emulation site that lets you play it online.
Good.
I might stream it.
For that. It's like, send me the link to that emulation site so I may look around.
Wait, are you being serious or no?
Yes, I'm being completely serious.
Okay.
Thank you. And look at that, the cops are at my door already. Jeez.
Wait a minute, let me look at this real quick.
Sure. What's this game called? Oh, shit.
Like, no joke, I love Rat Attack. I have very fond memories. Oh, this is not the same game.
Oh.
This is not the Rat Attack I know. No, don't go to that link. In fact, let me delete it. That is not it. What the fuck?
Insert, not the one I used to know.
There it is. This is more of an install now, though.
Fair enough. Yes. Alright, I think that covers everything for tonight.
Yep.
Alright, well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for talk. This has been Rev and HH, wishing you the best of luck and a happy holidays.
We
Goodbye.
won't be back till after Christmas.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
See you then.
Oh, there's not the right text. I need to change that text really bad. So now it's the end of the show. I'm not going to play the intro music because you guys have been sitting here listening to that for the break for a very long time. I'm just going to do my usual spiel. In the description on YouTube and down below on Twitch, there's a link /creeperface that says support the stream by clicking this. If you see that, don't click on it because it doesn't work right now. I am working very hard to get that fixed. In fact, I'm going to be looking into that tomorrow. You know what really does help us out, though? Sharing the links. Spreading the word that we're live. Sorry, I got spaghetti sauce all over my face. Spreading the word that we're live really helps. I try to stream every day. Lately has not been so good. During the holiday season, we're not going to be streaming very much. I think Sunday is going to be my last day to stream. And then we won't be back until near my birthday, which is going to be January 5th. Yay! But, put simple, we stream this podcast every Thursday. I try to stream every Sunday. If I can't do that, then oh well. For the most part, my schedule is so messed up that I just stream whenever I actually have free time, so it might be spontaneous. But I want to thank you guys so much for being patient with me and with Rev, both with audio issues and for the fact that I really wanted spaghetti and it took a really long time. We have been streaming for 3 hours. For now, thank you so very much for watching. And I know like a lot of people get really snippy about how you say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. If you don't celebrate any of these, then just have a good winter. Enjoy yourselves. Don't go too crazy. Be careful drinking, please. Be very careful. And I'm really sorry for how emotional I got earlier in the episode. I want to delve deeper into that, but I can't. Because the second you start showing your emotion, your distaste for something, and voicing it, you become a special snowflake. But really, aren't we all? But anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you after Christmas. Good night.